Right. So what did we learn in the previous session? Oh, we learned about test engine annotations and the execution order and the behavior of the annotations, right? Do you remember that? We have written multiple classes. So we have written BOF integration and BO sample, and we have used these kind of methods, right? Multiple iterate of test methods depends on priority. And then before that, we also learned the what is that? Annotations execution. This is the class. So how are the annotations getting executed and what happens if we have multiple iterate of test methods, right? So what happens if you have multiple iterate of test orders? In which order will they get executed? Oh, they get executed in alphabetical order, right? So that is the reason. If you don't want to execute them in the alphabetical order and then you want to execute them in a particular order, so we have depends on methods and priority, right? We saw depends on methods and also priority, adding priority and depends on methods. We have seen both of them. How do we add them? And then let's see. Yeah, so we can add either priority or either depends on methods. What is the difference between priority and depends on methods? Priority will not check the status of the previous method, whereas depends on method will check the status of the previous method. If it is passed, then the depending method will be executed. If it is failed, the depending method will be skipped because the depends on method is failed. Okay. Now, I don't want to make it hard dependency. I want to make it soft dependency. Even though the depending on method is failed, I want to execute the depending method. So in that situations, what we'll do is we'll add an extra property called always run. So if we add this always run is equals to true, then even though the depending on method is failed, this will be executed. That is soft dependency. And then later we have discussed the theory of batch execution, how to execute the all the classes in a package. Right click on the package and then click on run, which will run all the classes inside a package. But we cannot sit and run all the packages one by one which are inside this project, right? So that is the reason TestNG is providing an execution file for us. That execution file is TestNG XML file. Now that you see, when I run any of the class file of TestNG on the report, you will find the XML, right? We have discussed, right? The XML is automatically generated on the temporary file and all those things we have discussed. Let me show you that on this index.html. See, this is the TestNG XML file which is being temporarily used. If you do not have any XML file in your project and you are not running via XML file, your TestNG will automatically generate a dummy TestNG file or temporary TestNG file at this particular location. For each iteration, it will create a new file, XML file. And when you run the next time, it will be gone. You won't have this XML file in a temporary location as well. So now, if you want to perform batch execution using using your own customization, this is the default XML provided by TestNG. But I don't want to have this default XML. I want to have a customized XML file so that I can play with TestNG. So in that case, we will create an XML file inside this project and we will mention whatever we want. So I'll do one thing. I just copy this XML file and then to create XML file inside the project. Now, creating XML file inside the project. Right click, new, and make it file. Okay. What is the file I want to create? I want to create an XML file. So I'll say stg underscore batch execution underscore packages dot xml. Extension should be mandatory in Eclipse when you are creating some files, because if you don't give an extension, it will create normal files. If you give extension, it will create XML file. Okay. Now that we have the XML file, you see XML, when you see the XML files, by default you see this kind of page, but I don't want to enter in the tabular format. You can add child, add comment, add new element, like this you can add anything, but it will be a little difficult for us because we are contained with the source file. So go to the source from the water and then copy paste whatever the things that I copy paste whatever the things that I copied from the index.html report. Now I don't want to execute the classes, I want to execute a package as a batch execution. Right, here is a package. I want to execute this all package. Okay. So for that, what is this default suite? No, I don't want to give default suite. I'll say this as package execution. So you have to give your own names, and then here also say package execution test, and inside this I'm giving packages. You have to add this tag inside the test. Alright. And inside the packages, you have to give what are all the packages that you want to execute. So for each package, you have to add another tag, extra tag. Package. Okay. For this, you have to give package name. Which package do you want to execute? What is the package what is the package of ours which we want to execute? I want to execute this one, com.bobbybatch.testing. So I have to give the full name, com.bobbybatch.testing. So this is the package. Now that our XML is ready. Now we don't have to go into these classes and run. We will open this batch execution file, right click on the XML file and then use run as testing this one. That's all. Which will run all the classes inside this package. See, it started execution. After the execution, you can see in the report what are all the classes that it got executed. I think this is third class. We have two more classes to get executed. This is the fourth one. Okay. So there is one failure that was intentional failure, but now let us go and see the report of testing G. You see how many classes got executed? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So totally 5 classes got executed. Okay. So out this class, in this login, we did not write anything. So that is why we did not see the browser. For these 3 times, the browser opened. So totally 5 classes got executed. But did I run each class one by one, or did I run the package manually? No, right? I just added a package tag in my XML file and I ran the XML file. Run as testing issue. You have to run the XML file. Normally, for running any TestNG, we will not run each class individually. If you want to run any TestNG suits or TestNG cases, we will use this XML file. I think I already explained you when I showed you the report. By default, it will create some dummy XML file internally if you don't have any project. No, sorry, if you don't have any project level XML file. Now let us see and let us go and see the report. Just refresh the report. Now let us go and see the report. Yeah. See from where is the XML file used now? It is inside our package, right? TestNG batch execution packages. And we just added packages, but you see TestNG automatically by itself it added all the classes of this particular package, right? Did I add this? Is it there in the RXML file? Yeah, here it is. Do we have the classes here? Did I mention them? No, but TestNG by default it adds the classes, because when I mention packages, TestNG understood that okay, I have to execute this complete package. It fetches all the classes and then it adds it to the classes. Okay, right? When I mention packages, it doesn't care about how many classes or what are the classes. It will add all the class information into the XML file. Okay, now we got this. Now let me take this XML file. I'll create another XML file which is executing only multiple classes. Why? I'll tell you. Create a new file. TestNG underscore as execution underscore classes dot. I'll paste it here. I don't want to execute the complete package. See here now inside the package we have only 5 classes. That is fine. It is not taking more than 5 minutes or not more than 2 minutes. That's fine for us. But in real time we might have hundreds of classes, hundreds of test cases that needs to be executed. So in that case, I don't want to execute all the classes there. I want to execute only the classes where my exact test cases for this sprint or for this release or for this production release is present. So we have kind of tags called of regression or smoke or something kind of those kind of tests which are in all the packages. We don't care about which package it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 packages. We don't care about the packages, but I want to execute the classes inside these packages. Okay. I don't want to execute all the classes. I want to execute only required classes. So in that case, I just remove these packages. Now that we have 5 classes, but I don't want all the 5 classes to be executed. I want only 3. So in that case, I am removing this C1. And I also remove this C3. I want to execute only these 3 classes because I don't want C1 and C3. Because that is not part of this sprint, or I don't want them to be executed every time when I run the suit. Okay, so in that case, I can remove, I can add whatever the classes I want. I can remove whatever I don't want, and then run. You don't have to copy from the report. You can write on your own, right? Same suit test classes and the classes. Instead of typing it manually, I was being smart. That's how. I use the previous XML file and copy it here. That's all. This is not package execution. This is class execution. Okay. Now, if I run this, it won't execute the complete package. It will execute only these particular classes. Okay. Now, let me run this and show you. You will see only 3 classes getting executed. One. Second one is the Chrome driver. Now you see all of them, all of the three classes got executed. You see how many classes are there now? Only three, right? If you want to execute particular classes, you can mention them under the classes tag. Okay. This is the second way of batch execution. First one using packages. Here in the packages, I added only one package, but if you want to add multiple packages, you can add it. Okay. And inside the packages, if you want to execute only particular classes, you can add the classes. You don't have to add the packages because we are being specific to classes. You can add them. You have to provide the complete path name of the class. This is the package and this is the class name. If you want to add a class from another package, you can also add it. com.bobbybatch.oops.c1child. You have to add the complete class name. So these are the two ways: packages and classes. How do we execute the package execution? And we can also execute particular methods inside a class. Like for suppose, let me open this intro to analytics on this. Okay, let me open this sample. Yeah. So we have a sample here. Now we have three methods. For example, okay, I don't want to execute adding an employee. I just want to see whether the employee is able to log in or not. Whether the employee is able to log in or not. I don't want to add the employee, but I just want to log in. But if I execute this class, add employee method will be definitely executed, right? I don't want to execute it. I just want to execute until login of the script. I don't want to execute whether the employee is able to add the employee or not, or the HR is able to add the employee or not. I just want to see whether the HR is able to log into the Orange HRM portal. So in that case, what we have to do? Similar to these packages and classes, we have methods tag here. In those methods, you can have include and exclude tags. If you say include, all the methods that you want to run should be mentioned there. If you say exclude, whatever you don't want to exclude, you have to mention that particular method. That's all. Okay. Let us see the HTML report once before going into the next one. Just refresh it. Index.html. Now we see this is the classes that we created, right? For C1 and C3 are gone. Okay, fine. Now let's go back and let's see the other one. How do we add methods? Okay, we have seen the packages and classes. And now if you want to use methods including and excluding, we have two tags. One is include tag and the other one is exclude tag. Inside this, we have to use methods tag to mention the method name. Okay, so like this, you see, we already have classes. Inside the classes, we are having a methods tag, and we are mentioning what we want to include and what we want to exclude. So let us see this sample in our project. Let us create one of these sample and then let us execute it. Okay. That. Okay, I'm going to create another XML file. Okay, we have this methods.xml. Now I need these classes and copy this inside the methods. So inside a class, right? Inside a class, I don't want to close the class tag. I don't want to close the class tag. It's not a self-closing tag. Inside this particular class, I want to give some options. So I'll just remove this and then I'll add a new. I'll add the close tag. Okay. This is the similar case with all the classes. Both are correct. You can have it as a self-closing tag, or you can have a separate close class tag. Now inside this, I will add methods, and in these methods you cannot directly give the method name in these methods. You have to mention another tag called load. Okay, and include you have to give the name is equals to suppose let's go to our source and test ng classes. I want to execute this C1 intro to annotations. But I think I have one method, so let us skip this. I'll go to annotation execution. Here I have three methods, right? See, login using thread, and login using threads. I have three methods. So in this, I don't want to execute using login using threads. I want to execute only these two. Or I want only to execute this login. Okay. So let's copy this, go to XML, and then I'll mention the name of that particular method. Okay. I mentioned the name of that particular method. And then now let's go to C2OHRM add employee test ng, this one. So how many test cases we have, how many methods we have here? Only login. Okay, so here I cannot show an example of exclude. So I'll use again the same login method and add everything. For this copy, since it has only one. Login. Okay. Now let's go to C4. Here we have 1, 2, and 3 methods, right? I don't want to execute this add employee. I want to execute only these two methods. So in this case, if I add include, it will be 2, but if I add exclude, it will only be 1. So instead of adding include, I will add exclude. So when I mention exclude, except that all the other methods will be executed. Okay, that's what I'm going to do now in this particular class. Okay, now I don't want to have include, but I'll say let's exclude. Which method I want to exclude from this C4? Where is that? Yeah, I want to exclude this method. So I'll copy this method name. That's all. Now that our XML file is ready, our XML file is ready. So what is going to happen here? In this particular class, I want to execute only this method. In this particular class, I want to execute only this method. In this particular class, except this method, I want to execute everything. Except this method, I want to execute everything. So now let's run this and see what happens. Okay, log in. This is class 2, and then let's go to class 4. This will have login and navigation to PIM. See, it navigated to PIM and add employee, but it didn't add any employee because I asked to exclude that particular add employee method. Let's see the test ng console. You see, in this I mentioned a login, so login executed. In this also I mentioned a login, so login executed. But in the C4 class, I mentioned add employee, but except that everything got executed because I use the tag called exclude. When we use exclude tag, it will omit that particular method and rest will be executed. When we add include, it will execute only that particular method. Is that clear? All right. Any questions in batch execution using packages, classes, and methods? No? Fine. Did I miss anything? Let me see. Packages. Okay. So test classes, using classes. So mention classes, only those classes will be executed. And then when we have methods, two scenarios, one is include and one is exclude. Okay, exclude will execute all the other methods except the mentioned ones. Include will execute only the mentioned ones. Okay, so we are done with this batch execution. Now let us learn a new topic called groups. Before going to groups, I'm again asking, do you have any questions on batch execution or test engine? Okay, I'll take that as a no. Right. So now you see, now we have created XML files and we are writing, we have created a batch execution using packages or classes or methods. But now that we might have multiple methods, tens of methods, 20, 10, 20, 30 methods in each class. You cannot keep on adding classes and add, include or exclude tags and keep changing them whenever you want, right? It will become a messy thing. Now see, in this particular class, I want to execute only one method. So I wrote one include. But if I have, suppose for example, let us assume that this annotation execution class is having 25 methods and I want to execute 18 methods. So will I sit and write all the methods include here? I cannot leave it as a class because I don't want the other 7 methods to be executed. I want only 18 out of 25. So I cannot keep on adding 7 times exclude or 18 times include, right? We cannot do that. Suppose, let us assume that the C2 OHRM add employee is having 100 methods, out of which I want to execute 50 methods. If you either write include or write exclude, anyway, you have to write 50 lines to mention all the method names which you want to include or which you want to exclude, right? Which is not the right way. So suddenly somebody changes the include or exclude methods. What happens? That particular method will not get executed, right? So in that case, that is the reason we have another concept which helps us, which gets us to the solution is called as grouping. Grouping concept helps us group the methods. We can assign some names to the groups so that you don't have to remember or you don't have to call all the method names here. You can just call the group so that all the methods which are assigned to that particular group will be executed. Understood? So we can create groups on these methods. We can assign groups to these existing methods so that what happens is whenever we want to execute, you can just mention the group name and all the methods. You don't have to mention each of the method here. If you just call the group, that's all. It will execute your all the methods which are linked to that particular group. You can say Yanji execution or Bobby execution or Nikhil execution or regression or smoke or sanity. You can give some names to the methods. You can assign some names to the methods. And whenever you want to run that particular methods, you can just call that name, which will obviously call all the methods from all the classes from all the packages which is having that particular group. Understood? Which makes our life easy. Instead of adding 50 includes or 50 excludes, we can just add a single line with a group. Is that clear why we are going for groups? All right. So now how do we add groups? We can add this one. So to the at the rate of test method, you can add one extra property or parameter called groups, and you can mention all the group names that you want to keep or all the group names that this particular method belongs to. You can add a single group or you can also have multiple groups. Okay, you can have a single group or you can also have multiple groups. Now let us assign some groups or let me create a new class to explain you this groups concept. Okay, I think I already have a class already. There won't be anything, just copy it. is a dummy method which is having all the groups already assigned. I don't want to write all these things and waste time, so I will just copy this class again. Copy. Here it is. Here. All right. Now I have the groups. Close all the others. All right. So if you see here, now I have around 8 methods. M1, M2, M3, M4, M5, M6, M7, M8. So there are total 8 methods. Okay. For M8, I did not assign any group, but for all the other methods, I assigned some groups. You see here, M1 is belonging to a regression and smoke build 1, B2. That is the reason why I have this. I'll tell you. Okay. And then M2 method is belonging only to regression. M3 method is also belonging only to regression. M4 method is regression and smoke build 2. Okay. And then M5 is only smoke build 2. M6 is for regression, nickel smoke build 1 and smoke build 2. Okay. So this is belonging to smoke build 1, but there is some extra names nickel gunda. Here I have extra underscore B2. So both are for build 1, but we have some extra names. I'll tell you why we have to use that kind of names I have used. Okay. All right. And then this one, you see, it also belongs to smoke build 1, but you see here at the rate at the end I have underscore B2, but here I have in the beginning underscore B1. Okay. And then for M8, I do not have any group assigned. Okay. So if I mention like this, that means this method belongs to this particular group. Right. You see here, if I want to, this method does not have any group, but if I want all the methods to execute, now I cannot give any single group name, right? So that is why we can also assign groups to the class. We can also assign groups to at the class level, not only to the method level, we can also assign groups to the class level, so that all the methods inside this class will be part of this group. Whether you have a group mentioned to a method or not, this M8 will get executed when I ask full set. Understood? All right. Now let me create XML files to execute these groups. Okay. I'll create another XML file inside this package. You understood the concept of groups? Okay. We can have multiple groups, and this is a sample XML file. Okay. So let us do that sample XML file. std underscore batch execution underscore dot XML file. So I created an XML file and copy this, paste it here, and then here I don't want to execute a package. I want to execute some groups. So I remove those packages. Should be group execution suite. This also group execution message. Okay. So here I want to mention the groups. And inside this, similar to classes, here also we have run and include. For methods, what did we do? We added classes, and then we told we add a method tag, and then we have include. But for groups, we need to add a run tag and include. So here we will add a run tag, and inside this run tag, what you want to do, whether you want to exclude or include, it's up to you. Suppose I want to include all the classes, all the methods, of this particular class, but I want to exclude regression test cases. Then you can mention exclude. I want to execute only regression test cases, or I want to execute only smoke build to test cases. You can use include. Okay, got this. These are groups. Yes. So I'll say include. Okay, got this. Include. Name is equals to mention the group name. Okay, we can mention the group name. We can have this both open and close tag inside the same tag itself. This is also correct. Nothing wrong. This is also correct because we are having only include and nothing, no sub or no child tags will go inside this include. So I can use it as a self-closing tag. Okay. Now which group I want to execute? Here I have assigned multiple groups. So for suppose I want to execute regression. So how many methods are assigned to regression? M1, M2, M3, M4, and M5 is not assigned to regression. M6 is again assigned to regression. M7 is not there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6. Let us see. When I mention, I have to copy the group name. This is a group name. I'll mention this group. Now if I execute, you will see that it will execute all the test cases which are assigned to a group called 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6. And, groups might not be in a single class. You can have this group name in multiple classes or in all the other classes. Dimension. Okay, that's in 5 2. Something about test groups run and include. Oh, I have to mention the classes as well. From which classes I want to execute this group. I forgot that. Or you can also mention the packages here. No problem. Packages. Which package you want to execute? So from which package? Name is equals to, I can mention. What is the package name? com.bobval.testing. So I can use that batch. com.batch. Testing. All right. So now from these packages, I want to execute this group of test cases. Okay. Now let me run this. We'll see execution of 1, 2, 4, and 6. Which methods got executed? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6. Right? Only these are the methods that are assigned to the regression, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6. Right? Okay. Now I don't want to execute or I want to execute only smoke builder 2. For example, I want to execute only smoke builder 2. So inside this, what I'm going to do is include and say smoke build 2. And then I'll run it. Now you will see only smoke build 2 methods will be get executed. How many methods got executed? 4, 5, and 6. What are those methods? M4, M5, and M6. If you see the console, you will see the method names as well. Yeah, fine. No problem. Okay. M4, M5, and M6. Let's go here. M4, M5. Okay. This reporter.log. This is another statement that we need to discuss. What happens when we use this reporter.log is we are not having on the console. We don't see this message in the console, but you can see this message in the report. Let me refresh this and open the HTML page. Okay. Now you see reporter output. You see the methods. This is M4. This is M6. This is M5. You see all the methods, console output or whatever the things that you want to log are logged here. So if I click on M4, it will go to the M4 method. If I click on M5, it will go to the M5. If I click on M6, it will go to M6. Since we have on the same screen, it is not scrolling. But if you have multiple things, it will scroll. Okay. So you will see this reporter output here. Instead of using system.out.println, you can use this reporter.log. System.out.println will print them in the console, whereas reporter.log will add this statement into the index.html report and emailable report. Where is that? Yeah. See here under emailable report also you'll see these messages. For this particular class, these are all the messages that you will get. You can also have these messages. Okay. All right. So this is the TestNG report statement or TestNG console. If you want to add something to the TestNG report, some text, then you can add this reporter.log statement. Instead of using CISO statement, which will print on the default console, I don't want to have those messages on the console. I want to have them on the TestNG report. Then we will use a reporter.log. This reporter is from TestNG, org.testng reporter. You see, when you are working with TestNG, you will have that report. If you don't work with TestNG, you don't see that report. Okay. All right. Fine. Now let's come back to our batch execution. So in this, we have executed a regression, and then now I don't want to execute the regression. I want to execute only smoke build 2. So I executed smoke build 2, and we saw the output that M4, 5, and 6, right? Yeah, M4, M5, M6. Let us see M4, M5, M6. What are the groups? M4 is smoke build 2. M5 is smoke build 2. M6 has smoke build 2. Right? Now I want to execute both regression and smoke build. So in that case, I can add another include tag and I can mention regression. Now here you should get one doubt. Notice that case. Now if you see M4 is having both regression and smoke build 2, and M6 is having both regression and smoke build 2. So what happens to these methods, M4 and M6? Will it get executed 2 times? Or will it execute only once? I mentioned both the group names, regression and smoke build 2 in my XML file. Smoke build 2 and regression, both I mentioned. So what happens to M4 and M6?
Only once it will execute.
Yes, exactly. So you have to relate it to the manual. So though we are assigning the same test case to multiple groups, if you are asked to do it manually, will you execute 2 times and to attach 2 separate reports to the test case? Or you will attach the same, you will execute only once and you will attach the same report to both the suits? We don't do the manual work double time, right? Will you do it? We already know that is passing. Then why will you do it for the second time? Just for the sake of group change? No, right? So similarly, TestNG as well. It won't execute second time because it's already new. As part of any one of this group, it already knew the status of this method. So why should it again run for the other group? So if your method is having both the groups, it won't execute twice. It will execute only once. Okay. Now, we have these two. Let us run and see. It will execute the methods which are related to both regression and smoke build 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let us see about the 7 and 8 methods. 7 is not having smoke build 2 or regression, so it did not execute. 8 does not have any method or any group, so it also did not get executed. Until group 6, we either have regression or smoke build 2. Right? You see, smoke build 2. So that is why it executed 1 till 6, but it did not execute 7 and 8 because these methods does not have a regression or smoke build 2 annotation grouping names. Is that clear? All right. Similarly, I don't want to, I want to exclude smoke build 2. I just want to exclude smoke build 2, but I want to execute all the others. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I just comment out this. Okay. I commented them and then I'm going to add the run tag again. Just for the sample. Okay. Now I don't want to add include, but I will say exclude. Okay. Exclude. What I want to exclude? I want to exclude smoke build 2. Other than smoke build 2, I want to execute everything. Okay. Other than smoke build 2, I want to execute everything. So execute everything means it includes M7, which is this group, and M8, which does not have any group. Because what I'm saying, I'm not saying I want to execute these particular groups. I'm saying I want to exclude this particular group. I want to exclude a smoke build 2. So other than the methods which are having smoke build 2 tag, it will execute everything. Let's see that. You see, it is executing from all the other classes as well, right? Because other classes doesn't have any group name. Understood? Let it complete. I am showing the methods as well as 1 and 2. Except that particular group, everything will get executed. All right. Now it got executed. Let us see this. You see how many classes got executed? All the classes from this package got executed because in the XML file, go back to the XML file once you see, I mentioned the package, and inside that package, I said I want to exclude this particular group and execute rest everything. So all the other classes doesn't have any group assigned to them. So that is why it started executing all the classes from this particular package. Now I don't want to go into that particular package and execute all the classes. You can also mention the classes and mention the class name here. It's up to you how you want to assign groups and how do you want to run either packages or classes. No issues. Okay. Now let's go and see this. See, all the classes got executed, but let us observe these all things are common because it doesn't have any group, so they got executed. We don't have to dig deep into them. But you observe this testing G groups 1, 2, 3, 7, and 8. 1, 2, 3, 7, and 8. What about 4, 5, 6? Let us see. What happened to the 4? It has smoke build 2. What happened to 5? It is assigned to smoke build 2. What happened to 6? It is assigned to smoke build 2. So other than smoke build 2, all the other methods got executed. Did you see that? Right? 1, 2, 3, 7, and 8. That is what we see in the console. 1, 2, 3, 7, and 8. Right? 8 does not have any group. 7 does not belong to smoke build 2. And the other classes as well. Other classes also similar to this, right? It doesn't have any group assigned to them. See, do I have any groups here? No. That means it is also not belonging to smoke build 2. So that is why it executed these methods as well. Understood? All right. So now, let's see the notes if I missed anything inside this. How to use groups? How can we assign multiple groups into a single test? And how do we write XML? How do we write? Okay. Yeah, regular expression. We have seen exclude, but we did not see the regular expression. So I told you, right, there is particular reason that I wrote the group name like this. This is smoke build one, but I had extra B2 because that is my naming convention. And someone else had created same group, smoke build one, but they have their own name in the beginning and ending. Okay. So in these cases, so I want to execute all the smoke build one cases, or I want to execute all the smoke build two. I don't care, or all the smoke build one, and I don't care what they have in the extensions. Okay, let us take the smoke build one. I have this B1 in the beginning extra. Do I have anywhere smoke build one? Yeah. Here I have in the B1 in the beginning, and here I have B2 in the beginning for smoke build one. Right? I don't want to worry about the trailing ends. But if it is belonging to the smoke build one, I want to exclude that. So in that case, we can use regular expressions. So let me comment out this and then use another tag. Okay. So in this, I'll say include, okay, and I'll give name is equals to. So if I want to execute smoke build one, where is that? This one. Okay. If I give this complete name, what will happen? This will execute only M1 method. But smoke build one is also present for M7. Right? Is also present for M7. And smoke build one is also present for M6. But of course, it has some text. So I cannot keep on adding these kind of group names in my XML file. So what I'll do is, I don't care about whatever might be the trailing ends. So I'll say star, yeah, dot star in the end, and I'll also add a dot star in the beginning. So this means if you have a dot star in the beginning, it says ignore whatever is there inside it, or beginning in the beginning. If you have only okay, do one thing, I'll execute one by one. So now you see smoke build one. So what is the meaning of this is I want to execute a group whose name ends with smoke build one. It might be starting with anything, I don't care, but it should end with smoke build one. Okay. Now let me run this. You'll see only one method that got executed, that is M7, because that is ending with smoke build. You see, smoke build. Okay, but don't we have any smoke build one groups? We have it for M6 and we have it for M1. But what happened? This is not ending with smoke build one. We have underscore before. Okay, I don't want to have smoke build one in the ending. I want to execute a group that starts with smoke build one. So I'll add this. So what is the meaning of this? I want to execute any group which is starting with smoke build one, and I don't care about what is having in the end. It might have anything in the end. If I run now, it won't execute M7. It will execute M1. You see which method it got executed? M7, M1. But earlier, which method it got executed? M7. But now I want both. I don't care about whether what is it starting with or what is it ending with. But if it has a text smoke build one, I want to execute them. So then I'll use dot star in the beginning and ending. What is the meaning of this is, I don't care what is in the end or what is in the beginning or whatever, but if the name has smoke build one inside it, any place, at any place, if the name has smoke build one inside it, then I want to execute it. So now if I run this, it will execute all the three methods which is having smoke build one, which is M1, M6 and M7. 1, 6, 7. Let us see. Did it execute 167? Right. Now, I don't care whether it is smoke for build 1 or build 2 or build 3 or build 4. I want to execute all the smoke test cases. So in that case, I'll also remove this and then I'll mention the smoke. Okay. So now let us see what are all the test cases that gets executed. Here there is smoke, so M1, and then here there is smoke, so M4, and here there is smoke, so M5, M1, 4, 5, 6, 1, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let us execute and see. See, 1, 4, 5, 6, 7. Did it execute all the smoke cases? Yes. So you understood the regular expressions of group names? Fine. Let's go and see. We have seen the regular expressions, we have seen the XML file, include, exclude, and then we have a small group. Okay, partial groups we have already discussed. The partial group is nothing but if you assign a group at the class level. You see here, we assigned a group at the class level, right? In that class, I have some methods which doesn't belong to any of the group. So this is partial group. We are assigning everything inside this class to this group. If I give the group name as full set, all the methods including this M8, though it does not belong to any group, it gets executed. A class can have partial groups. All the other methods have groups, but this method doesn't have any group, right? So that is what is called as partial groups. So I can execute them. I can execute it as well. Let me comment this out. That's right. The run command. Run. Load equals to, let's say, yes, full set. I copied the same. I use the same name here. So though M8 does not belong to this group, it gets executed because it is inside a class whose group is full set. If I run it, you see, you'll understand. It will execute all the methods 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. It doesn't care about the methods inside the class, but it sees that everything belonging to this group. See this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All the methods are executed. Okay? That is partial groups. Now we have another thing, another small concept called as meta groups. So what is this meta groups? Okay. What is this meta groups? Having information about groups is called as meta group. Let me show you the sample. You see here, what is meta groups? Meta group is group of groups. Suppose I created some groups. Okay, I created some groups. So what are the groups? I created, if I say I have Windows group and Linux group, but when I say functional test, both the Windows test cases and Linux test cases needs to be executed. I created some group. And when I say all, it should execute functional testing and checking tests. Okay, then I'm not calling the group names. I'm not calling these individual group names like Windows or Linux or something like that. I'm just giving the name of this new meta group, which is including all the other groups. Understood? If you want to execute multiple groups at a time, no need to always keep on writing this include. You can define meta groups. You can add all the required groups and add them into a particular group and then execute. Okay. For example, let us create some meta group XML file. Create a new file. Oh, I did not add the extension, so it became a normal file. So I have to read. Now it is an XML file. Here I want to add this kind of information. Okay. The name got changed, but it is not BD. It is not still not okay. Now here, I don't want to have these kind of things. So let me remove all these things. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create meta groups like this. Where are they? Yeah, I want to create meta groups like this. Okay. So what I'm going to do is inside the groups, I'm going to define some okay inside the groups. I want to create a group of groups, so I'm using define. Okay. So inside this define, I can give a name for this group. For example, I'll say smoke. Okay. When I say smoke, what I want to include? See, I want to include name is equals to. What are the smoke test cases? This one, smoke build 2. Okay. Similarly, I have smoke build 2. Okay. Let me use the regular expressions. When I say smoke, I want to execute all the smoke build test cases. So I'm using regular expressions for smoke build 1 and smoke build 2. I don't care whether they start what they start with, what they end with, but if they are belonging to these groups, I want to execute them. Okay. And then I will create another group. Okay. And then I say name is equals to nickel. For example, my meta group name is nickel, and in this I want to include only one thing which starts with nickel. Okay. Okay. Then I will create another meta group. Okay, another meta group which is equals to smoke plus regression. Okay. I'll give this smoke underscore. Here I want to execute both smoke test cases and regression test cases, but not the others. I don't want to execute anything else. I want to execute only smoke and regression. So in that case, what I'm going to do, I'm going to give the group names like this: include slash. Okay. So what I want to include? I want to include both smoke and regression. So I'll say name is equals to dot star smoke dot star, and then I also want to include regression test cases. So now I have created groups of groups. So I'll combine both smoke build 1 and smoke build 2 and call them as smoke. I'll combine all the nickel test cases as nickel. I'll combine all the smoke and regression and call as smoke and regression. Now if I want to run them, any of the group, I have defined all the group names. Now I want to run any one of the particular group. So in that case, I'll create run, and then I'll say include which group I want to execute. I'm not going to give smoke, regression, or nickel. I am going to give my meta group name, which is smoke or nickel or smoke underscore regression. Suppose if I give this smoke, That's all. So these are all individual groups, and by combining similar kind of groups, I created another group that is nothing but meta group. Understood? Group of groups is called as meta groups. Is that clear, Bobby? All right. Now, if I run, only the smoke test cases will get executed. I can simply change this run tag from smoke to nickel, and it will get execute only this one. If I change from smoke regression, it will execute all this. That's pretty simple. This is all about meta groups. Groups or groups is meta groups. See, 1, 4, 5, 6, 7. Because smoke. Let us see the smoke. Smoke means what is the rule I have created? Either build one or build two, right? And then what are the methods that got executed? 1, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's see 1, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, we have smoke, build one. 4, we have smoke, build two. 2 and 3, we do not have any smoke kind of thing, so that is why it did not get executed. You see it? Right? So that is meta. Any questions on meta group? Any questions on today's topics?
No, Nikhil.
Okay. So, do you want me to continue? I see the Yanji dropped off. Do you want me to continue for another 15 minutes for a new topic, or shall we continue it tomorrow?
We can continue tomorrow.
Oh, thank you. Bye bye. Have a great day.